Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Well, it was a day of drama at the ballpark yesterday. Game one of the doubleheader was won by the Tigers. Jacoby Jones, his first career walk-off. But in the nightcap, the Royals bounced back with 2 in the ninth, and they beat Shane Green and the Tigers to earn the split in the twin killing. Today, more baseball from Comerica Park. It is a great day for ball. The Tigers and Royals, game 3 in this 4-game series. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemmicker Gibson, glad to have you with us for Game 3 in this series. You know, Gibby and I were having a conversation in Game 1 yesterday about little numbers. Yes, little numbers, and how they can lead to bigger things.
And look who's coming up.
Off the end of the bat, it'll roll foul. See, now that qualifies as a number right there. That is a number.
I call that the little number. It went foul, but if it had it not went foul, something wouldn't have happened. They almost defended it before it went foul. And then right after that, there was a home run that was hit, and it changed the whole game.
Oh, okay.
That's a real little number.
So, you know, occasionally I get off, I guess, off base on the telecast. So what did that all have to do with it? That was in Game 1. Now we get into Game 2, and that game kind of got away. Well, why? It comes back. Tigers have the lead at 2-1, and guess what? Solarte hits a little number, and then he hits one off the bat right here, which I said it could be a number off the end of the bat and a fly ball, and that scores a run. And that opens up the floodgates because the Tigers had a misplay right here. And the Kansas City goes on to score the go-ahead run, and the Tigers were unable to come back. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. So there's always somebody to blame. Why did we lose that game? Who's to blame? Was it Nick because he didn't catch that ball? Well, there was a little number off the end of the bat. Those are tough. Was it Nico? Well, he didn't get the little number. If it had gone fair, he would have had 2 outs, and the Tigers probably would have got the game. So don't try and figure out. I say it was a couple of numbers. We're going to talk about it in game. How do you defend the little number?
And we're hoping for a number-free afternoon here in Game 3 in the series. Tigers hoping to bounce back after last night's nightcap. Coming up, Game 3, Tigers and Royals from Comerica.
Duffy destroyer against Duffy. Vmart has put up some silly numbers since 2016, hitting .500 against him with 3 home runs. Lifetime, he's hitting .385 against the Royals lefty, and the Tigers would like to see more of that today. Hi, everybody. Mickey York back with you here in the 1-800-CALL-SAM studio. Royals and Tigers have combined for just a total of 10 runs through the first 2 games of this series. The offenses have been stymied by solid pitching. Fires and Danny Duffy will try to continue the trend here this afternoon. First pitch coming up next. Mario and Gibby with the call. Enjoy the game, everybody.
Back here at Comerica Park, and Mike Fiers is on the mound for the Tigers today, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Yeah, Mike's making his 3rd start of the season. A beauty in his first game. No runs in 6 innings. Tough last outing against the Yankees. He's looking to even things out right there. 1-1 record so far. 10 strikeouts, only 2 walks. He's got the ability to throw a gem. The pitchers are doing a good job for the Tigers so far.
Here is the lineup that he will face today for the Royals, presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Jay Merrifield and Moustakis in the top 3 spots. Lucas Duda again is cleaning up. Jorge Soler in right field. Cuthbert, Del Monte, Escobar, and Butera rounded out for Ned Yost and the Royals.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. Jacoby Jones certainly earned a start out there again today on his performance yesterday. Martin in center, Castellanos again at right. Jamer Candelario at 3rd, Miggy at 1st, Machado and Iglesias up the middle. James McCann's catching Mike Fiers as we get into this game today.
So Fiers all set to go. The Royals winning the nightcap last night, snatching one from the Tigers with a couple of runs in the 9th inning. They split yesterday. And here we go this afternoon as Fires brings it home. And John Jay looks at a ball outside, 1-0. Outfield scattered toward left, infield playing to pull just a bit. Jay shoots one on the ground at first base, and that is fielded by Cabrera. That's how we start this one today, one gone.
That one was fair.
That one was fair, barely fair. And it was not nubbed. It was hit okay, pretty good. Here is Whit Merrifield. Well, the Tigers somehow, some way have to find a way to stop Merrifield. He continues to hit their pitching staff pretty good. 4 for 10 in the doubleheader yesterday. Fires making his third start, one good one, and the last one he got roughed up a bit, and he'll throw a strike. Merrifield batting .271. Fires was really good in his first start of the year in Chicago. 6 scoreless innings. That slap to center field. It is sinking, dropping, base hit.
Man,
so Merrifield continues.
This guy's unreal. Hit a bomb for a home run yesterday. Little Texas leaguer right here on a breaking ball right off the end of the bat. And we're going to do something a little later about when you're an outfielder. We were talking in the open about nubbers and how do you, I made a reference to how do you defend them. One of the ways you defend them is by watching the swing, of course, and then listening to the sound, but that can be deceiving as well. So right there on that one, you have no chance of catching that ball based upon the information I just gave you.
Merrifield a threat to run. Has only one swipe this year, but he can go. Moustakas homered to the ball game in game 1 yesterday. And he drives this one to right field on a line, and it's straight at Castellanos. Hard hit ball, 2 gone.
Hard contact, but you got 8 fielders out there, including yourself. That makes 9. You have a high probability of getting that taken care of if you induce contact. Right to Nick. Tigers were not on the field for batting practice today. They hit into the cage, so when you get out in a game like today, you had the doubleheader, split doubleheader, so you take the batting practice off. It's always good to get a ball hit to you and get you into it really quick.
Yeah, Gardy was talking before the game today, saying, you know, we've had a lot of days off because of bad weather, but when you play a doubleheader like that, it's almost like you haven't had any days off. Those take them out of you. But the group right back at it today.
And you really have to force yourself because you come to the park yesterday for 2 and now you're only playing for 1. So you have to make sure that you check yourself. Can't let your guard down. You got to come out with full energy, ready to full go right from the first pitch.
1 ball and 1 strike on Duda. Cabrera had the nightcap off last night, back at first base today. There's a bouncer against the shift, and it's going to get through. Right off the end of the bat, and Lucas Duda has a 2-out single to put 2 aboard.
Now, we were talking to Rex Hudler, an ex-Major League player who announces for the Royals, and he said Moustakas is really competing against these shifts. He will hit against the shift. That's a perfect example of it right there. It was. Didn't you think that was obvious? There's Hud. Actually, I recruited him when he came to Michigan State for a visit.
Hud's talking with his hands. Imagine that.
Yeah, I scared him away, and yeah, he does. He's very animated, very quiet. Kidding. But I thought that was really obvious that Moustakas just was waiting for something on the outside, and he's hot.
So with 2 outs here is Soler. That'll break low and away. Soler at 277. He walked a couple of times in last night's doubleheader, played game 2. And right away, Fires trying to pitch out of some early trouble here in the first. Although both hits not very impressive, a blooper and a seeing eye ground ball. Fire's one of those guys the Tigers brought in as a veteran. Mike, of course, with the Houston Astros and their World Championship team last year. A couple of veterans like Liriano and Fires coming into the Tigers rotation this year. Here's the 1-1.
Soler, the guy who's got great athletic ability, really crushes lefties, struggles against righties. So far this year, that's been the same. So that should give Mike the advantage here with a couple on in the top of the first.
Slow roller toward the third base side, gobbled up there by Candelario. His throw is in time. Inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. And 2. And here is the Tigers starting lineup today, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Back to a normal starting 9 for the most part here in the third game of the series. Martin, Candelario, Cabrera, Nick Castellanos batting cleanup, and Victor. You got Jacoby Jones, McCann, Iglesias, and Machado, your bottom 3. Big Danny Duffy on the hill, presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
Pretty good starting pitcher, 0-2 on the year, but threw a beauty his last time out. He used to throw from the stretch. Now he's going back to the windup, and he's got a good step-off move. So if you get over there at first base, he's got several moves. Got to be awake. He will step off, and he's got a good one.
Now Duffy going to the windup and discarding the stretch. I assume a lot of that has to do with balance.
Well, many times they do it for tempo. We were told that he felt like he was tipping some of his pitches out of the stretch. So maybe they discovered something, and thus he went back to the windup.
Here's the 2-0, and it's in for a strike.
Many people think that the stretch simplifies the coordination that you must have to have proper mechanics and throw the ball where you want it to.
To center field, hit well. El Monte going back over his head. It's up against the wall, and Martin will cruise it to second. That is a leadoff double. Leonis Martin is on a pretty good stretch right now. He is swinging.
Yeah, he's smoking right-handers, I tell you. Came into the game at 327. He gets into this. El Monte thinks he's got a beat on it, but this has afterburners straightaway center field. This ball just carries and carries, probably because nobody out, does not chance going to third smartly. As Amani got to it fairly quick, retrieved it, got it to the cutoff man.
So here is Candelario. Tigers an early scoring chance here against Danny Duffy. Jamer at 267. He sits safely in 5 of 6. Duffy, after a rocky first start of the year, has really come on. His last 3 have been good. Jamer takes way outside, and the count goes 2-0. Candelario now with 10 hits on this homestand, so his average has jumped up quite a bit. Tigers had that good final game against Baltimore in which they scored 13 runs.
Not a ton of bats against lefties. Tigers, I believe this is the second lefty starter they faced all year, and that's unbelievable. It's usually over 70, between 70 and 75% of the pitchers in the big leagues are right-handed. It ebbs and flows from year to year, plus or minus 5, probably 5%.
3-0 is a strike. Ooh, that looked outside. Candy thought he had a walk. You saw that graphic that Danny Duffy has given up 5 first-inning runs in 4 starts this year.
Well, where's that at? Well off the plate.
Three-two now on Candelario.
In that 9th inning last night, Shane Green, there was a pitch that was closer than that. If I think he felt he should have had that. And all this happened after that little squibber.
A lot went into that 9th inning last night that turned out to be the unraveling of the Tigers' win. 3-2 is a little cue shot to the right side of the infield. Duda. Oh man, a barehanded pick there by Duffy. Nicely done for the out.
Yeah, it's a pretty athletic move right there. Duda took that ball barehanded and flipped it with his glove. And Duffy barehanded. That's a dangerous play, but it sure looked good, didn't it? And they got her done. This is not an easy play. This is in slow motion. Duffy's running, trying to find the bag. And he comes back from the 3-0 count to get Candy.
Martin goes to third, and right away the Royals bring the infield in here in the first inning as Cabrera stands in.
Seems like more and more teams are bringing the infield in earlier in the games. It used to be where you'd kind of concede an early run to stay out of a big inning, because the infield is in right here. It'd be real easy for Miggy to hit a ball on the ground through this infield. And the probability of scoring a run is great, but the probability of scoring 2 runs, multiple runs, is greater. That's what you try and avoid. That was the old way of thinking, but now they put the pressure on you, and there's numbers to support that this is the play to make.
Here's the 0-2. You know, I've noticed that a lot as well this year, and I thought maybe early on it was because all of the cold weather and teams were, you know, runs were at a premium. Teams wanted to take advantage of maybe knocking down a run early, but you're right. I mean, it seems to be a new trend as the Royals have them in all the way around. Little chopper to the second baseman. This will save a run. So there's a perfect example. Martin holds at third.
Let's take a look at the Royals starting defense. John Jay, Abraham Amante, and Jorge Soler across the outfield. Moose, Escobar, Merrifield, and Duda on the infield. Drew Butera catching again for the Royals. Danny Duffy's on the mound. And 2 outs now for the Tigers with Leonis Martin on third base. That'll leave it up to Nicholas Castellanos. Hitting the ball decent, but has not had results.
Infield backs up now. They relax and play to pull against Castellanos. And he's going to shoot one to the right side and drive in a run. Little cue shot into right field, scoring Martin. It's 1-0 Tigers.
We were talking about Duda hitting against the shift. Look at Nick right out of the gate. They're all over on the left side of the diamond. This is all open. Nicholas goes for it right out of the gate. Pound him in. He just jams it right through the vacated right side of the infield. The Tigers are on the board. Duffy's not liking the shift there, is he?
No, all he can do is shake his head.
Well, again, you're seeing more hitters try to beat the shift. You got to make an adjustment. They're taking it away on the pull side. You're gonna have to learn to hit it the opposite side.
You know what I wonder, Gibby, is how many pitchers in the big leagues are really all in on the shifting, or how many would rather have more conventional defense?
I would say the ones that aren't are the ones that can't locate well.
Yeah.
Because if you locate and you have a game plan, there's very, very strong evidence that that's the way to do it, and they know where to put the fielders, infielders, outfielders to have the best ability to catch that ball and make it, turn it into an out.
It'll chopper back to the mound. This will be an easy play for Duffy, and that will end the inning. Tigers get a run on the RBI hit by Nicholas Castellanos. Visit Kroger.com for great deals, digital coupons, and more. Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Chrysler, get great deals on the Chrysler Pacifica at the Chrysler Spring Sales Event. Tigers out to a 1-0 lead early on in this one. RBI single by Nicholas Castellanos. And Chesler Cuthbert will get it started here for the Royals. It'll be Cuthbert to Almonte and then Escobar facing Mike Fiers. Cuthbert skies this one in the air down the left field line. Long run for Jones, and Jacoby will run out of room up against that screen down the left field line.
That was, I think, without the screen, maybe he has a chance to reach in. No, we've had one save by the screen already in the game over in the right field side, and this maybe takes away an opportunity to catch the ball on the other side. Mike wants the out.
Yeah, no doubt.
But somebody pulled it foul. Was that Moustakas in his first time up? And
yes.
It hit right off the screen, so nobody had to deal with it in the stands.
Here's the 0-2. Cuthbert hammers one to left, base hit. Third hit of the game already now for the Royals.
Yeah, it's an 0-2 count. A little too aggressive, a little too much plate. Just a fastball, middle third. Chesler with a solid base hit to left.
Now Abraham Almonte starting in center field in this game. Royals are without Sal Perez, we mentioned, but they're also without Alex Gordon, who's had a hip problem. He is out of their lineup. Almonte well traveled. I mean, he's played now in 4 different teams the last 5 years. provided a big pinch hit for them in the 9th inning last night of Game 2.
He battled and hit the ball off the end of the bat a couple times, one on the ground, one in the air.
McCann down to snatch that one, and the count levels now 1 ball, 1 strike.
The first one just foul. Second one was to Nick, and I know some thought he should have caught that, but StatCast says 13% catch probability. That's not a real good chance to do that, and you wouldn't go for that, because if it gets by you, you give up the go-ahead run in that play itself.
Little looper in the air to shallow left field. That's going to drop. Another blue pit. Rolls by Jacoby momentarily, but the runner at second will hold. 2 on, nobody out. Sundays are kids' days here at Comerica Park. Don't miss the Tigers taking on the Royals tomorrow at 1:10. Families can enjoy the Sunday family value deal. 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and drinks, starting at $20 per person. If you'd like tickets, go to tigers.com/value. One more against the Royals to close out the homestand tomorrow. So 2 on now, nobody out, and here is Alcides Escobar. Slow start this year for Escobar, batting $177.
They will hit and run, even though it's first and second. I don't think they do it with no outs. 1 outs they would do it. Now Monte, I tell you what, he's got like a pool cue out there, huh?
He
Last
does.
night he had one to right field, the left field today.
There's a bunt attempt. He bunted right through it.
Yeah, he's an action guy. Escobar is. He'll bunt, he'll hit and run. 0-2 count, highly unlikely that he'd do hit and run or bunt now.
Scored a couple of runs yesterday. Was 1 for 7 in the doubleheader. He literally plays every day for the Royals. Ground ball to short, should be 2. Dixon turns it at second, and there's the double play. Little bobbled by Machado, but still had enough time to get the 6-4-3.
Well, this is just what you needed. He makes a good pitch. It's right straight to 6-4-3. Actually, Machado had a little trouble getting it out of his glove, but quickly recovered. Used to be you could be neighborhood of second base. Now you have to be on the bag. So, but the trade-off is you can't get run into basically down there.
By the way, the Tigers have just turned their 21st double play, which is second in the American League. Toronto and Texas, he jammed 25. Tying run at third with 2 outs for Butera. Back away from ball 1. Drew Butera is 0 for his last 9 at bats, batting .158. Pulled on the ground and threw a base hit right under the glove of Candelario to tie the game. 2-out single for Butera.
Almost out of it. Leaves the ball up and in. He's left a couple. Cuthbert hit a ball in the same area on a 0-2 count by Jammer. The Royals tie it up.
Now John Jay. He drops down a bunt. It's going to roll foul. Little push bunt down the third baseline.
Yeah, these guys, they're taking whatever's given to them, even though it really doesn't call for it in the game. Usually when you get 2 outs, you don't bunt. Although Merrifield has been a terror against the Tigers, so maybe you pass it off to the hot hitter.
Correct. Yeah, Merrifield another single in the first in this game. The 0-1. Two on the veteran John Jay.
Looks like something off speed. You can see Jay way out in front. Ball's down, it's much more effective when off speed.
Popped up. Shallow left field. It'll be Jacoby Jones coming in. And that'll end the inning. The Royals tie it up on the 2-out hit by Butera. DTE Energy, know your own power. Jacoby Jones powered one out last night in game 1 of the doubleheader, and the Tigers walked off with a win.
Triple in the second game as well.
Big day for Jacoby.
And he's hacking right there on that heater, that fastball. He's ready to go.
Duffy's 0-1 is drilled to left field. That ball hit pretty good, but it's going to chase Jay back to the warning track. One gone. And speaking of yesterday, Menards brings you the big money encounter. How about 2 Royal starters yesterday? Gibby Hamill and Junis both certainly deserved a win. Both gave their team everything they had.
And they got a split out of it. Tigers should have got won both, but you can see most innings by KC starters in a doubleheader since Kevin Napier and Luis Aquino. That's solid. You go through a doubleheader like that, you're trying to keep your bullpen in order, and they certainly did.
And the bullpen has really been an issue this year for the Royals. Their ERA is over 8 as a bullpen. And so their starters going as deep as they did in a doubleheader was huge for them. McCann, the batter. That'll miss inside. James now has hit safely in 4 straight, 2 out of 4 in the doubleheader yesterday.
Get more comfortable, better contact, swinging at better pitches.
There's a base hit to right center. Right against the shift. They had him play to pull. Tigers do it again in this game.
That's excellent. That's the 3rd hit against the shift where it's obvious that the batter's trying to beat the shift, and it's wide open over there, and there goes James. Makes it look easy, doesn't it? But it's not. I'm telling you, if you're a pull hitter, you're a pull hitter, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of practice before you can redirect a ball like that, unless you're Tony Gwynn or Rod Carew.
Do you think the advent of all these shifts has made certain hitters better hitters because they've tried to go the other way?
I do. I think well, I don't know if it's better, but I think it's I think it makes you more of a weapon in more situations. Because if you're a right-handed hitter, and you got a guy at second. If you have the ability to hit it over there, but they only have one guy and advance the runner, even if you hit it right to that guy, it makes your team better and it makes you have a better chance to win.
There's a soft liner, base hit left field. Iglesias is on. Tigers have back-to-back hits. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the Tiger Box to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. Here is Dixon Machado. I would still imagine, though, Gibby, even though there have been a lot of shifts over the last couple of years, there still are hitters that really don't care. They're going to continue to be pull hitters if they are, and just continue to hit the way they feel most comfortable.
Well, if you pull the ball in the air, you have a better chance to hit it out of the ballpark. That's one of the philosophies why you do it. But sometimes your setup and swing just is not good to beat it. So you got to stay with your strength. It's like, you know, you have a good fastball, you're a pitcher, and you're facing a good fastball hitter. What do?
Still throw your best pitch.
You throw your fastball.
2-0 on Machado. Fly ball in the air towards center field. El Monte cruising over. Runners tag but hold.
Yeah, Dixon's been hitting a lot of balls in the air. If he could just get on top of that a little more, turn that into a line drive. He's staying back good contact, but he's not going to hit that many home runs. Turns those into line drives, that average will go up, and so will the production. Good swing.
Here's Leonis Martin. Talking about hitting the ball in the air, regardless of where the defense is. Martin said last year his numbers suffered because he got caught up in the launch angle craze. He had hit 15 homers the year before that, and that kind of messed him up last year. This season, though, he's had some games that have been really good. He had that grand slam and the triple and the single a couple of games ago. It's really provided a spark at the top of the lineup. As you see Duffy now at 30 in the pitch count area. Leonis hit one over the center fielder's head in the first inning, a double, and scored a run. Got underneath that one and skied it to right center. And it'll nestle into the glove of Soler to end the threat. Top of the third, and we invite you to join the Tigers in the fight against breast cancer. The 7th annual Pink Out the Park is Mother's Day, Sunday, May 13th. Tigers take on the Mariners at 1:10, and the first 10,000 fans receive a free Pink Out the Park hat courtesy of Kroger. Go to tigers.com for more ticket information. Well, we go to the top of number 3 now as Whit Merrifield leads it off for the Royals. Merrifield a single in his first at bat. And he pops it up right at home plate. It's going to be McCann. 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up Moustakas. It also brings up Chevrolet's most dependable player.
Active hit streaks. Mike Moustakas second to Brian Dozier, 12. Grandal has 9. 3 players with 8. He's been, I think Rex told us, what do you say, white hot, red hot? He's really smoking the ball. He can hit the ball the other way. He really is competitive. I think he has a little attitude about his contract negotiations throughout the offseason. Obviously out to prove everybody wrong. He likes to win. Just a born winner. He can pull the ball out of the park as he did yesterday.
Well, he is the all-time leader, a single season leader now in Royals history in home runs, coming off a career year last year with 38 homers.
And that was after a year where he was really struggling. And he really struggled against lefties. But went and refixed some things. It's always a ebb and flow in this game. Good pitch right there by Fires. But you can see when he gets a mistake pitch, he really stays back and is in good position to make hard contact.
Already 8 multiple hit games this year, which is second in the major leagues. Fires 1-2.
Short swing used to be much longer. That bat head goes to the ball quicker.
Duda waiting on deck. The Royals had their core broken up a little bit in the offseason with Hosmer signing with San Diego and Lorenzo Cain going back over to the National League with the Milwaukee Brewers. And it looked like for a long time Moustakas would leave as well. But he never got that deal. And finally was signed late in spring camp and rejoined the Royals, and here he is.
He did get a qualifying offer from the club. He turned it down. Most do. So if you take that, you get a one-year deal. It's set upon salary as a qualifying offer. If you turn that down, you can go in through free agency, which he did. And not a deal satisfying enough for him to sign.
Line to right field, and it's going to get down, a base hit.
Now, you don't ever want to lunge at a ball. This was a eephus pitch. And look at how Moustakas he'll just sit back. And just nice length in through the pitch. A solid single.
So that'll be a 13-game hitting streak now for Moustakas, trailing Dozier's 14. Here is Duda, who hit a cue shot to the left side of the infield and singled his last time. This time he drives to center. Martinez there. Duda is out. 2 gone. Hey, as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in today's game.
Hopefully it's a Tiger. The big moment to a big victory.
Tigers would love to bounce back after losing the nightcap last night. They had a chance to get to 500 with that win, but they can still do it if they take the next 2 here against the Royals. Monday features an off day, then it's on to Pittsburgh. Ball 1 to Soler. We told them up yesterday. The Royals in the doubleheader stranded 20 men combined in that twin killing, or that doubleheader. And so they really have hopes on at least getting more hits with men in scoring position and scoring more runs today, but it's been a struggle.
And they really scored the runs not by hitting the ball hard, especially in the ninth inning. Just an unfortunate couple of plays for the Tigers should have handled. But when you are in a rebuilding phase, sometimes you do things a little differently. Let's not forget that's how the season started. Trying to make decisions to build this nucleus up. And a couple mistakes, bobbles, numbers, and they had the lead.
He's taking 3-0. It's in there, a strike on Soler. Fires now has given up 6 hits. The 2-out RBI single by Butera in the second tied it up. Up and in, and that'll be ball 4 to Soler. That'll put 2 men on.
Fires had a couple on last inning. Now a couple more here. He's had some runners, actually the first inning as well.
Here is Cuthbert.
He jumped that first pitch last time, just missed it.
Fires began the year with some back issues, was on the DL and made a couple of starts in Lakeland after the Tigers broke camp. They got him stretched out to 80 pitches down in Lakeland before he made his first start against the Chicago White Sox, and it was a good one. Mike has a no-hitter in his background, threw it against the Dodgers. High fly ball center field, should do it. Martinez under it, and the Royals strand 2 more men as we go to the bottom of the third.
Break, and you saw him get out of that jam with 2 men on there in the last inning. Mike Fiers isn't really a household name right now, but his pitching coach Chris Bosio says, although he's not a name that you might recognize off the bat, this is a guy that will meticulously carve you into little pieces. In fact, through 2011 and 2015, only 8 pitchers in all of baseball had more strikeouts than Mike Fiers. And back in August of 2015, he even threw a no-hitter as a member of the Astros against the Dodgers. So this is a guy who knows how to pitch on the mound. And it's a pleasure to get to watch him work here today against the Royals, Mario.
Yeah, and Trevi also pitched out of that jam, stranding a couple of Royals in the third. And so as a result, it stays tied at 1. Now the Tigers trying to get him some runs. It'll be Candelario, Cabrera, and Castellanos, 2, 3, and 4, facing Danny Duffy. 1-1 Sales outside, 2-1. Duffy today making his team high 5th start. He allowed 5 runs in his first start, but since then has been really good. And they are counting on him to be an ace-type pitcher. He signed a 5-year deal prior to last season, so he is locked up through 2021. The 2-2. A little emergency act there.
That's a great emergency act.
Candy.
I think he was looking for something off speed. Got the fastball inside, just trying to get a piece. Get to another pitch that maybe he can handle better. And that's almost out of the catcher's glove.
Ball 3.
You can see Duffy likes to pound that pitch inside. He sawed Candy off in his first at bat. Was behind him 3-0, came back.
Yeah, he went around, strike 3. They'll throw down at first to complete the strikeout.
Here's the 1-800 call Sam called the game. We talked last night about the little number. Remember this one, 86 World Series. Bill Buckner doesn't get the glove down, doesn't get in front of it. A similar pitch hit today. Miguel Cabrera. Look how he gets over, gets down, got square on it, and it's just that little. When a ball is nubbed, you hear the sound that can give you a clue because you see the full swing. So they're hard to defend because they can do many different things. There could be spin on the ball, and that could affect the first hop, second hop, third hop. So it could be regular first 2 hops, and the third hop it could go anywhere. So just trying to get you explain to you. We're keep going back into last night how those things can happen. Miggy handled it well there. Buckner, obviously, they've been talking about that one forever.
A huge play, probably the most famous number in baseball history. Swing and a miss. You bring up a good point, though, in that you can, as a defender, gain clues by the sound of the ball off the bat as well.
Well, like especially in the outfield, I would say, because you see swings. The sound obviously is behind what you see, but when it gets there, it helps you confirm what you think you see, or it can help you reverse what you thought you saw.
3-2 now on Miguel.
And a lot of it depends, you know, does it hit right off the sweet spot of the bat? Is it just a little bit towards the label? Is it a little bit towards the end? And when you play enough games, you kind of start to understand the sounds in Comerica Park, okay, what it sounds like when a guy hits it solid. And that goes for every other park as well. Different parks have different sounds. Some are louder, you don't hear it as much.
Another foul back out of play by Cabrera.
Duffy pounded 93, 94 mile-an-hour fastballs on Miggy. 3-2 count. Miggy's just looking for a mistake. He is due.
And he walked him.
All right, let's take a look now. We've been storing a couple sounds off the bat. So we started out with Jacoby's. That one you could hear that was a home run, right? You knew that one right out of the gate. The last one was Almonte's in front of Nick. Sounded similar,
right?
But since it was off the end of the bat. The other thing is it depends on, some guys use ash bats, some guys use maple bats. So, you know, it's probably when you listen to that you couldn't really tell, but I promise you, you play this game long enough, it's one of the things you use to determine the kind of play you're going to make. Nick's going against the shift again.
That's how he got his RBI in his first at bat. This time he launches deep to left field, back to the track, back to the wall, and gone. Nicholas Castellanos has hit his first home run of 2018.
Well, let's listen to this one. And also, you saw the body language. That tells you you have to go retrieve that one. And Nicholas finally got into one. And I just think first at bat, he forces it over to the right side of the diamond. He's on time, pulls this one out of the park. So Nick is coming through today and looks like he's feeling much more comfortable as well.
They have not invented a shift that was going to stop that one.
No. Well, it's illegal to put a guy in the stands.
And so Castellanos homers for the first time this year, 19 games into the season. But better late than never. That ball was a no-doubter.
Rod's happy. Was that
No.
Rod's pick?
No, he's my guy.
That's your guy? Oh,
My
whoops.
guy.
Well, you're happy. I mean, that was good. Nick's got great numbers off the lefties right today, and you were on time there, buddy.
Luck of the draw sometimes, all it comes down to. Nick put a charge into that one. It's 3 RBIs on the day, 9 for the year now for Castellanos. 3-1, Tigers have the lead.
You know,
takes outside.
Talked to Nick yesterday. We have some footage that we will drop in here from time to time, but you know, he seems to stay pretty steady when it's not going good. He told us that he feels like he's been hitting the ball good, not good results. And you know, when you hit a home run, you can get really excited, but that would be how I would be. Roller coaster. How do you deal with that?
Well, Nick always has seemed like when he's in a good stretch, never really gets way too high or way too depressed when things aren't going that well. That's chopped to third for Moustakas, and Vimart is out.
I think you just kind of learn how to deal with it because it's not good for you. Burn all that energy when you're excited. You get really disappointed when you don't have good results. And again, you can hit a ball right on the butt and not get a hit. When you don't get a hit, your mind says, I failed, and it bums you out. When you hit a home run, obviously, you want to get really excited, but a lot of game left. Got to stay even keel, because if you ride that roller coaster up and down, it is exhausting.
1 ball and no strikes on Jacoby Jones. That'll miss low, 2-0 the count. So the Royals, I mean, they're shifting as much as anybody in the league now. And they've got 3 defenders to the left side against Jones. Here's the 2-0 pitch. 3-0.
So he's not going to do it 3-0, but this is an area right here. If he could get the bunt on here, force him to come here. It's a good way to get on if you ever want to get a freebie. Jacoby has really good speed.
Got the green light on 3-0 and fouled it off.
I was talking about it last night. When you have the first and third, that's a great play.
Right.
In 2011, when I was at the Diamondbacks, we had 18 of those first and thirds.
Ground ball left side, Escobar in the hole. And Jacoby is safe. Ball dropped at first base.
Good hustle. Got out of the box good. Escobar deep into the hole. And Duda cannot make the pick. He gets his head down out of the box. Look at, he always puts his head down. Does not look back. That's the fastest route. You see many runners when they go to first base, they get about halfway down, they watch the ball. That slows you down. Just a half a step. See if Jacoby doesn't want to try and go here. But remember, I was talking earlier, Duffy has a really good move. He's got a good step off move. You can see Ramon Santiago whispering right now to Jacoby. alerting him to all the tricks of the Kansas City starter.
Here is McCann.
Now, usually they step off when he's on his way up. Usually after they become set. Like, that's the weak move. That's what you call a setup move there. He's got a much better move in that, and many of the players have already watched Danny Duffy's moves on tape before the game. There it is. Usually they like to, now you know he did that right as his glove was coming up. You want to be on your toes there. Most of the time when they become set, like now he's not going to step off. Slide step, trying to control the running game. Doesn't want Jacoby to get any info that would allow him to get to second base.
They've made a ruling on that play to Escobar. They've ruled it an error on the shortstop. Here's the 1-0 to McCann. Nope, back to first. Jacoby 3 out of 3 this year in stolen base attempts.
Duffy reminded me of Kenny Rogers. He's got all these different moves. He was one of the best. Andy Pettit's another one.
In there, a strike called, 1-1.
When he does go home, that was less than 1 second to the plate. Not ever going to take off with 1 second. Chances are you're going to be out.
Flat-footed throw that time, and he threw it right into the dirt.
If you're McCann, you get one in the gap right here. Jacoby's he's gonna score. He's got to make sure he gets a good secondary lead so he can score on that short double. Talk about double headers. McCann caught one game yesterday. Hicks one game. Now James is on again today, and probably will catch again tomorrow.
McCann caught game 1. He caught Fulmer yesterday afternoon. Hicks caught game 2.
But you know, happened to be at the ballpark even though McCann only played one game.
Right.
Sitting at the ballpark, grinding it out. Probably got loose a couple times just in case he had to pinch hit or play defense.
Strike called. McCann was about ready to go to first base. 3-2.
We got a conversation going on here. We do. James. Yeah, it looked like it just caught the bottom of the zone at the front of the plate. That's where that zone is set up. They're still talking about it. You don't want to take anything close now if you're the hitter.
Jones will be on the run here with a 3-2 count and 2 outs.
Make sure he goes home.
Fouled away. One thing we do know, they are really working Duffy's 65 pitches now here in the third. So they almost assuredly will have to dip into that bullpen today. That's something the Royals have avoided for the most part so far in the series. And he walked in, ball 4. 2 on now with 2 outs. Well, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go, made available by Oakland University. 2-out shot now for Jose Iglesias. It's the second walk in the inning now for Duffy.
Yeah, I don't think he liked getting out of that stretch in either account.
Slice to right field. And Soler runs it down. That'll end the inning. Tigers grab the lead in the home run by Castellanos. When we come back, he'll talk about the roller coaster. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
you know, buying in so much to when you're having success. You know, because when you start buying into all the success you're having, it kind of comes hand in hand that you have to acknowledge your struggles. You know, so I had a conversation with his son in spring training, because you know Cam is a very emotional young man. You know, because he plays the game with a lot of passion. But I just said, you know, this roller coaster that you're on has to be exhausting. You know, and that's just him getting really high when he does well, and getting really, you know, low when things don't go his way. So, you know, I had a conversation with Gibby last night about, you know, I just decided to hop off the roller coaster and just kind of buy into the process of what I do.
You're on the merry-go-round now? Just
sure,
nice and
I'm on the
steady.
merry-go-round until I guess my son gets a little bit older, and then maybe I'll hop back on the roller coaster.
With him, yeah.
Well, that's Nick Castellanos talking about the roller coaster and how exhausting it can be with all the highs and lows in this game. And the roller coaster is a much more smooth ride.
Well, the merry-go-round, you mean?
I mean the merry-go-round.
Yeah.
More so than the roller
Well,
coaster.
what he's doing is committing to not letting those things bother him as much, and just, you know, you just gauge the negative. You take it lighter, and you also do it on the other side. We had a leadoff single right there. Was that a Monte again?
It was.
Off the end of the bat.
Banged right back up the middle into center field. So the Royals have had their share of blue hits in this series.
Yeah, I thought that that ball should have been caught, and I don't know if there's a miscommunication or what, but we were listening to the clip there. The Tigers now find themselves first and second, nobody out, as Escobar drills one up the middle.
And it'll bring up Butera, who with 2 outs in the second banged a single to left to tie the game up. Nicholas Castellanos untied it with a 2-run shot in the third. 2 on, nobody out. Swing and a miss, awkward swing by Butera, who snapped an 0 for 9 with his single back in the second. Drew's dad, Sal, played in the big leagues from 1980 through 88. Showing bunt now, and he lays one down. McCann is going to go. Now he's going to drop it, and it's ruled a fair ball. Mack was going to go to third base, but then lost the handle. And they're loaded up.
Just a simple bunt play, and he was going to go to third base, and the ball comes up weird, little spin on it, and Mack doesn't handle it cleanly, and nobody out. Again, you got to always try and get your outs so you keep how much an inning can get out of control to a minimum.
Here's John Jay. They rule that a sacrifice E2. Ground ball, and a diving, sprawling play by Cabrera, throws to second, and they get the out there. On another great play by Iggy as well down there. Cabrera saved a run with that sprawling play. One comes in as Almonte scores.
Well, Miggy's got a choice to make right here. Does he go back to first base where Fires is covering, but he sees that he's got a better throw with the way his body is set up to second base? Does throw a little Ketter, and Iglesias makes a fine play defensively to make sure the Tigers get an out. Run scores. They still have first and third, chance to get a double play and get out of this inning.
3-2 ball game. Here's Whit Merrifield. Strike one on Merrifield. Single and a pop up to the catcher this game. Royals have their tying run at third base now with 1 out. And Fires has allowed 8 hits so far in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And here you see a chart of anything behind the red towards the outfield wall is a better chance of a sac fly to occur. Anything red line or in would be a no-go. Now that's adjusted for the arms based upon their throw data.
2-1.
Sometimes you just got to force them. You know, there's video available. You can scout the outfield arms, because when you go through a full season, there are times when your arm feels really good, other times when it doesn't feel good. Now Martin is a guy you probably wouldn't want to challenge if you're KC. However, it is harder to throw somebody out from center field.
Fouled back out of play. Martin has 51 outfield assists, I believe, in the last couple of years, so he's getting her done, as you mentioned, from that center field position where you don't normally get guys thrown out. But he's got a good arm.
Like historically, when there's a guy on second, which there isn't right now, he's got about a 4%, 5% chance of getting thrown out at home plate. That's average over forever.
High fly ball to center, chasing Martin back, still going back. That'll get the run in. Merrifield gets the job done as Escobar walks home, and we're tied at 3.
Let's take a look at Big Boy's big play of the game. Happened yesterday. Moustakas, who's had good power lately, gets into one. This is a long one, the no-doubter. He's a very dangerous hitter right now. The best on the Royals team, and Mike Fires is going to have to deal with him and find a way to get him out.
6th RBI for Merrifield. Defensively playing to pull with Machado in short right. Ball 1.
Well, Fires threw him an ephus pitch, was about 79 miles an hour. He smoked it last time, Moose did. He's staying back well.
Swing and a miss.
I think that's about the only place you can mess with Moustakas, is way down and away. Because he's just too dangerous. He's just hit too many home runs and doubles right now.
And he's on a 13-game roll, 13-game hit streak for the third baseman. Fires now at 55 pitches. Here's the 1-1. 2-1.
I don't think you would see Kansas City thinking about stealing any bases now, as they want to leave that hole open for Moustakas, and they want to give Moustakas a chance to drive one in the gap or out of the park. Not be worth the risk, and there's plenty of formulas around that would tell you that's the way you should play it.
Ground ball right side, and it's going to be Iglesias. He'll throw Moustakas out, and that will end the inning. The Royals tied up with a pair. Fourth inning, it's April in the D, and you need great food for tailgating, so here's your chance to enter to win groceries for a year from Aldi. Enter the Aldi Groceries for a Year sweepstakes. Go to foxsportsdetroit.com for a chance to win groceries for a year from Aldi. Here is Machado to get it rolling out in the Tigers' fourth, and Dixon looks at a ball low, 2-0.
We were talking in the first at bat about Dixon hitting a lot of balls in the air lately. So right now you got that right side of the infield open. You want to try and get on top, hit a line drive or a ground ball through that opening.
Meanwhile, Duffy continues to struggle a bit with his command. He walked a pair in the third. He's gone a few 3-ball counts in this game already. And Dixon taking on 3-0. Martin, then Candelario to follow here in the fourth. Bouncing ball right into the shift. Escobar. And Machado is out, one away. Top of the order now, Leonis Martin. Martin, a double and a fly ball. Not a whole lot of sunshine at the ballpark today. It is overcast, but definitely the temperature much more comfortable than it had been earlier in this homestand. 51 degrees.
It's hot out.
There's a popped up bunt, and it's going to drop.
Isn't it hot?
Well, it's hot in the booth because the windows are shut and the heat is flowing.
I'm saying compared to it, what it has been.
Oh yeah, it is hot compared. It's 20 degrees warmer than we're used to.
I didn't even notice the windows were shut.
You can open them up if you'd like.
Well, we're good.
Feel the air.
It's a long season. Don't want to let the elements get to you too quick. And we got another shift on here. And the Royals really are shifting more than I've ever seen them. I mean, usually lefty on lefty, you don't do that.
No, I mean, every single batter is shifted with 3 defenders to the opposite side or to the pull side.
Well, but again, the data is going to show you that hitters do hit the ball on the pull side. That's what they're trying to do. That's where they're going to hit the ball the farthest and the hardest.
He goes the other way, and it's caught on a line by John Jay. Nice running play.
But when it goes in the air, it goes that way, and they are well positioned. 2 good plays by 2 good jobs of scouting. John Jay is right over there in the line. That's an easy catch. Duffy likes that. He gave up a bullet down there, but they were in the right spot.
So now Candelario is not being shifted. He is, at least compared to the rest of the defense they've played, pretty much straight up.
They have no data on him.
Ball 1. But
What I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but you just said that the data shows you that all players tend to pull.
I did, but they manufacture the data, the charts that they have, and the record that they have. So I mean, you get a feel. I'm guessing. You know, maybe he does. The data shows that he does hit the ball all over the diamond, but I'm guessing that they don't have enough supportive data over time to understand exactly if he's a pull guy or not, because they all have different thresholds. Okay, so usually if it's a left-handed hitter, they shift if it's 80% or something like that to the right of the bag, and to the righties it's got to be a higher number, I believe, because you got to take your guys away from first base, and that's where you get most of your guys out at. That's a good point. I better dig in and find that out, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just gave me an assignment.
There you go. Strike call. So the count is 2-2 now on Candelario. 48% of the time, the Royals will shift up at the top of that list. Drilled toward left center field, and that ball is down, a base hit. Candy Wine turn, thought about it, and they'll hustle it back in. 2-out single.
Well, you can't shift that right there. Candy with a good stroke up the left center field gap. He does a good job here. This could be a single. This could be a double. Look, and he runs hard on it. Makes a good turn. and makes the Royals, Monty, throw the ball, and he reads it and quickly retreats. We got a couple of plays in the last couple games we're going to show you here as we come out of the next inning. You always got to put a good effort into. When you get the opportunity to run, you got to make the most of it. You can't assume that that's a single out of the box. You've got to assume that you might be able to get the second. So I'm going to give myself an opportunity to do that. He did it. He rounded it hard. He read the throw. And he did the high percentage thing, retreat.
Ground ball to short, out of the reach and off the glove of Escobar. Candelario will go to third. Miguel takes a wide turn but holds up, and the Tigers now with some 2-out threats going.
Just like we promised, it's time for the Miller Lite hold true moment. Nick came up last at bat. Dinger. He got it all, and it sounded like when it left the bat. He knew he had it. 2-run home run, and it's after Miggy walked. Miggy set the stage for this at bat. First and third, a chance for Nick to go big fly again.
Another mound visit for the Royals.
How many's that?
I think he signaled 2. So they should have 4 left. I thought when the season started we'd be paying a lot more attention to that, but we really haven't been. Really haven't gotten close.
We're finding that 6 is
sweet spot.
Well, that it's generous.
Line drive caught. It was sinking, and it was picked before it hit the dirt by Merrifield. Tigers strand 2. Retired the numbers of Jack Morris and Alan Trammell with the Morris and Trammell Celebration Package. All package purchasers receive an exclusive replica Trammell and Morris Hall of Fame plaque. And if you'd like tickets, go to tigers.com/HOF for Hall of Fame.
Got a picture last night from Tram and Jack and Dave Roseman out of town at a charity function. What a group that is. I said a rose between 2 thorns. Who was the rose? Well, who do you think was in the middle?
Tram's got to be the rose.
No, it was Jack last night.
Oh, Jack was the rose.
Made him the rose, but that's being generous.
Jack was known as being a little thorny when he was in his playing days. That's why I guess Tram. 1-1 on Duda. Foul back. It'll be Duda, Soler, and Cuthbert. Royals and Tigers tied at 3 here in the 3rd game in this series. Duda fly ball and a single in this one. 2 out of 12 in the series. Skied in the air to center field, and on his horse is Martin. He'll get to the warning track, 1 gone.
All right, we're going to go back to a couple of plays. Both teams did it. It's just yesterday it was Kansas City. You got a couple of things to do on every play. Communicate on defense, make sure you don't assume, and when you run for a reason. You don't assume that something's not going to happen. Ball drops, you're not on second base, you should be. And now Clarkie's talking to Martin right here about, you're the quarterback out there. That ball's got to be caught. So the ball today should have been caught. I think they'd all look back and think it should be. The ball yesterday when Kansas City goofed it up, should James have been on second? Well, maybe he could have been. So there's always something on every play. And here's the thing, if you're running and say they catch that ball, when you run, what do the fans do when you get closer to second? You can raise the level of the fans. When you're a player and you hear that, it confuses you sometimes. So just the little nuances of what you can do to increase the output, the outcome that you want.
Soler, the batter here in the 5th inning. Fires brings home the 1-2 pitch. And that'll slide outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So just to quickly summarize, in my opinion, both those balls could have and should have been caught. And they should have been on second base, both of them.
Here's the 2-2. Right to the third baseman, Candelario. 2 gone. So what you're saying is don't assume.
Yeah, I'm just saying, don't assume. And there's opportunities out there in every play.
Right.
I mean, that's just kind of a normal play, right? Those balls. So I'm saying you can have an effect on making it a better outcome regardless. If he catches it and you're busting your tail to second,
no harm.
There's no harm.
High pop up into shallow center field and caught there by Martin. A 1-2-3 fifth. Nice job by Fire. Services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire for tires and auto service. Everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. And by Sling TV, live TV you love, only better. Back here at the ball yard as Vimard leads it off and skies one to left field. John Jay, long run. Up against that railing, out of play.
Well, you got to run into that fence and have some fun with it, don't you?
Oh, Absolutely. You got the screen now that is extended all the way down the line.
Just run in there and plant yourself on there.
Climb it like Spider-Man?
Do it. No, I'd just do a flip off it, a back flip.
Oh, cool.
Have a little fun.
A backflip.
Sure.
Vmart in the ball game is 0 for 2. Couple of grounders. There's a base hit center field. Little soft serve back up the middle. Tigers have the leadoff man on.
Victor continues really to swing the bat pretty good, even on his outs. See the quick bat. Hitting right-handed. See that ball's off the end of the bat. He stays through it. He was only 1 for 6 hitting right-handed coming into today, so he's got 3 more bats and a knock.
So Vimar's first hit of the series. He was 0 for 9 prior to that single. Here's Jacoby reaching on an error by the shortstop at his last at bat. Jones pops it up foul, back out of play. He put on an absolute show in the doubleheader yesterday, as you see how they play him defensively.
Made some great adjustments too. Early they were featuring breaking pitches to Jacoby. He was struggling, and then he got the heater, which he's very quick on. He likes that fastball, but he showed that he could hit the curveball in case he had to. Got a sac fly off one of those.
You know what I also liked is his ability on that ball hit down the line and left to get to it quickly and hold the runner to a single. Here's the 0-2. That's line to right field, slicing. Caught on the run there by Soler, who's trying to get the runner. Vmart gets back. 1 away.
Pretty good at bat right there. Jacoby just off the end of the bat, but a good read by Soler right there. He got a good jump on it. Caught it off to the side. Uh-oh.
Open it. Open
Do
it.
it.
Do it. Come on. Show me something.
He's bleeding it.
Yeah. Why shake it if you're not going to just pop it open?
Mario, you want a Coke? Here, let me get it ready for you. How about, tell me you haven't, somebody hasn't got you in your lifetime with it here.
Yeah.
What do you want? You want a pop? You want a other kind of refreshment? You open it and it's explosion.
He's still going with that thing.
It's gonna be a little flat. Oh, he's got it open. He shaked it so much. There's nothing left.
No fun.
It's exhausted itself.
0-2 on James McCann.
He's ready. He's due as well.
McCann comes to the plate to the sounds of Jimmy Mack, Martha and the Vandellas. It's been his walk-up song the last couple of years. Bullpen action. Left-hander tuning. Hill.
Do we have a favorite walk-up song?
Of the Tigers this year?
I would just say ever.
Ever? Ooh, man, he chased there way out of the strike zone. Trying to think.
Duffy goes up high. James can't catch up. That's really hard to get on top of that.
You know who I used to really love was when, this is not a walk-up song, but walk-out song, when Joel Zamaya would come onto the field with Voodoo Child.
You like that one?
That got me fired up.
How about Trevor Hoffman? Hell's Bells, right?
Hell's Bells, yeah, that was good. 1-0 on Iglesias.
It's kind of interesting. I wouldn't know. We didn't have them in back in the day, and I just wonder what goes into it, right? Because I know they try to sync them up with, you got to pick the exact riffs that you want when you walk to the plate, right?
Well, some of them have lyrics that you better be sure you edit correctly. There's the ball missing low and away, 2-1. But yeah, they've got to be synced up because you've got what, maybe a 10-second splice by the time you get from the on deck circle to the box.
Unless you walk slower.
Yeah, you just let it run on a loop.
But many athletes, they listen to music. You see earphones on, headphones on. See basketball players. I've seen hockey players, baseball players, soccer players. Ladies do the same thing.
I think a lot of times, you know, unless you have something that matches like James McCann and Jimmy Mack, a lot of it has to do with the personality of the player. That slice to center, base hit. Glacier is starting to get hot now. It's his second hit in this game.
Really stayed back nicely there. Second hit of the game. He had good numbers coming in. Regardless of how you're swinging, if you have good numbers against somebody, you just have a feel. It just appears when you show up at the park today. And Iggy's got it. 2 knocks. Machado with another chance here to put the Tigers ahead.
Dixon, a fly ball to center and a ground out to short. Strike 1. So the next pitch for the lefty Duffy will be an even 100. We're only in the 5th. It'll dive low.
Is that Hill warming up out there?
Yes, he's been going most of the inning. There's the breakdown on the 100. Machado lines to left, to base hit. Vimar rounding third. He's coming around. Throw comes into third base, not in time. Machado gets it done with 2 outs. Tigers lead it 4-3.
It's going to be it for Danny Duffy. Good job by Machado. Gets the ball on the line. We talked about keeping out of the air. Victor comes around and running good. And Iggy on to third base. Now this is a risky play because if Iggy gets tagged out before Victor scores, but he's had such a good secondary lead, a smart play. He's the best gauge of whether he can make it or not. I'd love to see guys be aggressive on the bases.
So the Royals were able to stay away from the pen yesterday, but Hill now comes trotting in. The left-hander out of their pen will step aside. Pitching change with the Tigers up 1. Tigers back on top now. It's a 4-3 ball game. Leonis Martin will face the lefty Tim Hill coming out of the bullpen. Danny Duffy ends up with 101 pitches.
Yeah, Tim Hill, big, tall lefty. He's got kind of a sidearm delivery. Tough on the lefties. You can see he's going to come from behind.
Martin drops down a bunt.
It's a good one.
And Butera has no play. Everybody's safe. Single.
Smart play. Well, he knows it's a tough matchup. Leonis does, so he takes the bunt, tries to pass the baton to Jeimer Candelario, who's up next. And this is a good one. Just keep the pressure on the Kansas City Royals. Give it to your buddy behind you, the switch hitter, Jeimer. Hill very tough on left-handers. Hasn't allowed a walk and a hit in 7 outings. 6 2/3 hitless innings, or second in the majors. That's a wall side windows pitching change we're talking about right there. Inherited 4 runners, none have scored, but that's changed. It's going to change right here.
Candelario 1 for 3, singled in the 4th inning.
You can see the sidearm action, a lot of movement, a lot of downward action, a lot of tail on this lefty's two-seamer, I guess you could say.
That'll slide inside. Now the count on Candy, 2-0. Tigers now have 11 total hits in this game.
Bases loaded. You see the white jerseys right there amongst the blue. You see it all. This is what the catcher, umpire. 3-0. I'm taking. Miggy on deck.
He is taking. Can't imagine how many 3-ball counts Candelario has been in already this year. It has to be a ton. He sees a lot of pitches every game for the Tigers.
You got your Fox tracks on the right. You can see where the pitches go. Count.
3-2.
And if you look here now, this time it's 3-2. There's 2 outs. Everybody's going to be running on the bases. You want to make sure you get a big jump from first base, second base. Got to make sure you score. Make sure he goes home, though.
Off the plate, ball 4. Force in a run, a bases loaded walk.
But we'll take it, won't we?
Well, Candelario now has his 9th RBI. That run will be charged to Duffy. 5-3 Tigers.
Keep piling on.
More action in the bullpen for the Royals. Kevin McCarthy warming up.
The Tigers looking for the big hit. You get the bases loaded. But Jeimer gets the walk. That's good enough. One at a time. Everyone counts.
Folks, join us again tomorrow. The Tigers and Royals closing out this series. It all begins with Tigers Live at noon right here on Fox Sports Detroit. It'll be the series conclusion before the Tigers hit the road.
Now, if you're Ned Yost, you're probably not really comfortable with Miguel Cabrera. Bases loaded. He gets lefty on righty. Let's hope Miggy makes him pay. This is not the lineup or the situation he wanted to get into when he brought Hill in.
And Cabrera looks at a ball low and away, 1-0.
Usually when you got a guy that throws sidearm like that, they don't throw as hard, but Hill 93 miles an hour. That's a weird delivery. It's pretty firm. You just got to be what, 6'6". Be sneaky.
Foul back. Well, right-handed batters coming into this game against Hill were 0 for 15. Cabrera not your typical right-handed hitter. Tigers have scored 2 here to go up 5-3. A little bit outside, 2-1.
Ball really tails away. The fastball's on the outside part of the plate to Miggy. He's trying to start these pitches on the plate and lets it move off.
Tigers have had at least one man in scoring position in every inning so far. Way outside, now 3-1.
It's a little tight.
May walk in another. Castellanos waiting on deck. And he does just that. Ball 4. He has walked in 2.
This game is crazy. He's basically shut everybody down up to this point. Walks in 2 for the Tigers, and we got a pitching change. We'll be back.
Matchup last night in Los Angeles between Max Scherzer and Clayton Kershaw. Scherzer got the better of the matchup, even got a hit off of Kershaw, but that's about as good as it gets right there from a pitching standpoint.
Well, Max is the best right-handed pitcher in our sport as we speak. He's got that blazing, rising fastball that goes anywhere from 95 all the way up to 97 miles an hour. He's got an outstanding breaking ball as well and a changeup that he taught himself. When you start talking about Kershaw from a left-handed standpoint, that high three-quarter arm slot, he's got plenty of giddy up on his fastball. Plus curveball, good changeup, intestinal fortitude. These 2 guys are 2 of the best in all of baseball.
Those 2 have combined to win 4 of the last 5 National League Cy Young Awards. Mario, give me the pitching matchup here at Comerica Park, however, has dissolved a tad over the last inning or so.
And that's good news for the Tigers. Kevin McCarthy now has come on as they have knocked out the starter. Hill wasn't the answer, and now McCarthy in a wall side change. And the first one nearly goes to the backstop against Castellanos.
And Ned Yost has not been happy with his bullpen. 2 walks is not very good. He's not what he ordered. And now McCarthy comes in. Good sinker, 91 to 95. Sharp downward break on the slider. Good fade on the change. Very live arm.
Bullpen ERA of 7.91 this year for the Royals.
And McCarthy, however, doesn't locate well. Not ahead in the count. Only about 43%.
Castellanos rips it foul down the left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nicholas.
The Knicks seeing it well today. Has 2 hits already. Has the home run, the 2-runner, 3 RBI for the Tigers. He's feeling it.
Couple of bases loaded walks. Scoring 3. Part of a 3-run inning. Swing and a miss. Big rip there by Nick. 1-2. McCarthy got to the big leagues in 2016. Spent 33 appearances out of the pen last year for the Royals. There was a time when that Royals bullpen was just from the 6th inning on, lights out. Now the 1-2. It'll dive low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, but the times they have changed. ERA 30th. WHIP 29th.
Not long ago, that was pretty much top 3 in all categories. Hard to keep that pace going up for any team, though.
Fly ball in the air toward right center field. Long run, and that ball is caught up against the wall by Almonte.
It's a home run just about anywhere else. Everybody doesn't have to throw 95, 99, Mario. Just getting it done with a good combination of pitches, different speeds, and moving it each way and hitting all quadrants of the strike zone.
Yeah, that was on full display in his first start against the White Sox. The average fastball he threw in that game was a little bit over 87 miles an hour. And kept the White Sox off the board as he fires strike 1 to Almonte.
Now this guy's the little number king right now so far in the series. He's got a couple today, had a couple last night.
The little number king
of this series so far.
Of the series.
That's an award you'd want to get, though. It's a compliment. Little needler.
1-2. He also single-handedly kept them in this game by catching that fly ball off the bat of Castellanos.
Yeah, he's made a couple of nice catches. He had one earlier in the game too, didn't he?
Yeah, 2 of them actually today. Waiting on a 1-2 from Mike Fiers. Got a piece, stays alive.
Let's take a look at Amani's catch on Nick Castellanos through StatCast. This ball, he just keeps going, going, and going. 101 feet he went. It's a 91% catch probability. It's a high catch probability, but Didn't look like when you're coming in, and he's got another knock.
How about that? Little bouncer up the middle. He's 3 for 3.
He came in hitting less than 200. He's got some knocks today. That's his second one today. Had a couple yesterday.
Did you think the 91% was a little bit high in that probability?
Well, I tell you why. Is because I've run that far before. Have you ever stood in front of that board out there?
No.
When you just walk closer and closer to it, it gets warmer and it's brighter, and you just kind of feel it when you're going. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you kind of want to do a little peekaboo at the wall. It's you can get disoriented a little bit out there, but he handled it like a pro.
Royals have gotten a lot of production from the bottom of their lineup. Got 5 hits from the bottom 3. Fires missing low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
So you're running right into this. I mean, that's big. You can feel how the height of it too. Amani's did a good job of it. The Tigers bullpen may get busy here if Fires lets another on base.
Bunted foul. 1-2 on Alcides Escobar.
Sneaky. That was a good play. That's the second time that Escobar has tried to bunt on the Tigers. He's a pull hitter as well, so if you come in on him, you are susceptible to a ground ball getting by. If you stay back, you allow him to bunt.
Escobar is the current day Iron Man. He's playing today in his 352nd consecutive game at that shortstop position.
He's in there every day.
He's gone 162 3 times in his career. Spun his wheels a bit as he got back. Cal Ripken, of course, holds the record for the most consecutive games played. 2,216. I can't imagine anybody getting close to that.
I'm telling you, I would guess some think it's an easy game to play, but that's a lot of games.
It's mind-boggling, actually. Good scoop there by McCann.
I was talking to Nick Castellanos yesterday just about playing all 18. Cal over 2,000, and there are days when you are sore, or if you get hit on the elbow or you jam a finger, it's hard to swing a bat like that.
Here's the 2-2, and it just missed. Fires wanted it. 3-2. Let's check in now with Trevor.
Nick Castellanos wants to play every single day, and Ron Gardenhire said as much this morning. He said this guy wants to play 168 games a year, and when he gets him off his feet, he has to DH him because he doesn't want to hear him in the dugout about, can I get in? So there's a guy that's chomping at the bit, just like a lot of these young guys on this team, to continue to play every day and help this team win ball games, guys.
I would think 174 games. Wouldn't that, right?
How did you get to 174?
Well, 162 to get through the World Series, isn't it 12 games?
Okay, so you're sweeping all the way. Cool. 3-2.
Uh-oh.
Drilled toward left field. That ball is hooking down the line. Fair ball. It'll go to the wall. On his way to third is Almonte. They're going to stop in there, and that's going to be a double for Escobar. And here come the Royals right back.
Royals have answered the Tigers almost every time. And the Tigers have a little action going on. Daniel Stump. Here's the ball right here. Fires. Just hangs a little bit off the end of the bat. And Escobar, he's got some pop, and this ball gets down into the corner, and they're threatening. 2 on, 2 out.
So Fires will stay in the game to face the right-hander here, but they've got the lefty Jay waiting on deck. And Stump warming up. Strike 1. Here is Daniel. This will be the 80th pitch on the way now from Fires. Gardy going over the lineup cards, the bullpen cards as well.
Yeah, you can assume everybody's available, but they're not. So he's trying to figure his way through this right here. You're in the bottom of the 5th. You got a 3-run lead, 2 are on. You want to come out of this inning with the lead. Obviously, you want to tack on. But if you can get out of there with none, obviously that's the best. 1 is okay. Do not want to let this get out of hand this inning. So who will it be? We speculate Greeny will be out today for anything longer than maybe a guy or 2.
What do you think on Wilson? He pitched 2 yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, but we got to get the pitching chart going on here. We can make a better assumption.
Popped up. That'll help out the cause. Right side of the infield, Machado. 1 away.
Let's look at Gardy's lineup card as he sees it right now. So we're speculating that Green may be available for maybe an inning at most. Wilson, he pitched a 2 yesterday. Stump was on for the first game yesterday. Norris is unavailable. He's not in the bullpen anymore. And that's going to be it for Mike Fiers. Heck of a job.
So Daniel Stump will come on to face the lefty John Jay, who is due up. Gardy making the slow walk out to the hill.
Looks like he's trying to give him a little more time. That used to be an art earlier. Now they've changed the amount of time you could stay on the mound.
Signal has been made to the bullpen. Pitching change. We'll be back.
Boy, what a beauty of a game through 5 1/3 innings. Didn't strike anybody out, but he kept the Royals off balance, let his defense take care, make plays, got the big double play when he needed it. And it's just a vintage high fastballs, change of speed, the Ypres pitch. And he has reached the end of the line right here as they go through 5 1/3. Tigers have a 6-3 lead. His day is done, and he's done his job. He'll turn it over to the bullpen now. There you see Mike's numbers. No strikeouts, but that's okay. Responsible for the men on 2nd and 3rd right now. We have a wall side windows pitching change. Daniel Stump is in his 10th game. Lefty on lefty. John Jay for the Royals. 3.18 ERA. It's kind of settling into that situational lefty on lefty. You come in, it's on the line. You got to get the guy out, and hopefully Daniel will continue to work into this position.
Stump came on in the first inning, or I should say first game in the 8th inning in the doubleheader yesterday, and had a scoreless 8th. Gave up a couple of hits but no damage. John Jay has an RBI but is 0 for 3. Swing and a miss.
The thing about coming in right now, like Stump, what's the number one thing you got to be able to do? You got to be able to throw strikes, right? So
Absolutely.
you're coming in, it's right, it's game on. There's no room to relax. No, he got behind the ball and no strike and threw a chase pitch to Jay, and he nibbled.
Chop to third base. Candelario down to a knee. He'll throw to first. He'll get the out there, and the run scores. Looked like Jamer looked to second, realized that there were runners at second and third, and then went to first.
And possibly could have tagged, was that Escobar over there, could have tagged him, but it was a confusing play because he got turned around. There you see the ISO. Good job of giving. Took his sure out. That's a smart way to do it. Gets John Jay, and he'll face Whit Merrifield now.
Royals answer with one back. It is 6-4. That run is charged to Fires, and he is still responsible for Escobar down at third. Merrifield has a hit and a sac fly in this game.
He likes lefties, so you got to be good with your pitches.
In the air toward left field, Jacoby on the run. Out of play.
Way back. Merrifield's dangerous. If you're going to get it in there, you got to get it in there. And we were in Chicago, and Gardy brought Stump in against the switch hitter, and he was basically a little better average that way, but he didn't have as much power. And I asked him why he did that. He goes, I know, Daniel, we wanted to pound him inside. I know he could get it in there. If you come inside and you miss, it's very dangerous. He has confidence in Stump to do so.
Popped up. Shallow right field. Castellanos calling. And the inning is over. They will settle for one run. We go to the bottom of the sixth.
inning. 3 runs scored on 4 hits, and 2 walks. Started off with Victor. Iggy with the hit, and then Machado plates Victor. Leonis Martin lays the bunt down. Can't be handled by Butera, and then a couple of walks to Kenny and Miggy. That gives the Tigers their 3 runs on the inning. Kansas City has come back and scored 1. 6-4 now. We got a wall side windows pitching change. This looks like Blaine Boyer. 6 games, 5 innings. Has not been effective so far, so the Tigers have an opportunity. Got a good lively arm, got a little bit of movement. Victor's going to lead it off again.
The Boyer originally out of the Atlanta Braves system. veteran right-hander has been around a few years. It'll be Martinez, Jacoby Jones, and James McCann in the sixth. Tigers up by 2, 6-4. One ball and one strike on Vmart. Boyer last year was with Boston. He's also been with Milwaukee, Minnesota, San Diego, the Mets, Arizona, Atlanta. That'll miss inside, 2-1. Boyer in his last outing was roughed up, and I mean roughed up. He allowed 6 runs in a third of an inning on Tuesday in Toronto. Now only 2 of them were earned.
He's got a rubber arm. He could throw forever. He's got firmness. Ooh, Victor just got jammed a little bit there.
1 out.
Well, let's take a look at Jacoby Jones. He certainly had an impact on this series so far, making good adjustments. Likes the fastball. There's the game-winning home run. You can't sneak it by him. But then Kansas City, when they throw the breaking balls, he's been susceptible to that. But he's also learned how to make adjustments. Right there's the triple. Then he gets the sac fly on the breaking ball instead of pulling off it. I mean, you're going to chase those pitches. It's going to be hard for anybody. But Jacoby is growing up as we sit here and watch.
Pounded back out of play, 0-1.
Just even that swing right there, you see him letting it get deep, trying to hit hard to right field. His last at bat smoked one to right field. It's just understanding how to use the whole field. Put the ball in play more and use your wheels.
Jones reaching on an error by the first baseman Duda back in the third. He is 0 for 3 otherwise.
I thought that was a tough ruling there. And you got to give credit to the fact that he's running hard and you got to rush it.
Ball inside. Yeah, that was a ball deep in the hole that was backhanded by Escobar and made a long throw that was not handled cleanly by the first baseman. So instead of a hit, it was an error.
But if you don't get rid of it quickly, if you take the extra time, he's safe, right?
Yeah, and I'm not sure it was out anyway. That ball hit well to left field and might go to the track, to the wall. See you later.
Stay hot.
Jacoby Jones has gone deep. A solo shot here in the sixth. He walked him off yesterday, and now he's homered again today.
That makes it 7-4. He's feeling it. Probably never been so locked in his major league career. Here's the pitch as he throw the breaking balls at him. Then he hangs one because of that good foul ball approach he had to right field. He hangs an off-speed pitch perfectly on time, pulls it out of the park. That'll get you some more playing time.
5-game hitting streak now, a career best for Jacoby. And with Matuk going down to the minor leagues, it has opened up more playing time for Jones, who has seized the opportunity. What a series. Double, triple, 2 homers, 4 out of 10. Ball on the side of James, 1-1.
Cloud 9. Worked hard. He was a guy that they were considering not even bringing north, but it made a big enough impression there at the end of spring training. Discussion was made and they had, and here he is, and making the most of his opportunity right now. Let's take a look at what StatCast says on the home run. 106 is the exit velocity, 23 degrees on the launch angle, 380 feet. Now I've trying to figure this launch angle out. I mean, I think the higher that you
Shallow left field, long run for Jay, who tracks it down.
But the guys talk about hitting the ball in the air more. That's obvious, but I'm just new into that, trying to learn how it's applicable. You see Mike Stanton hit one out finally.
Giancarlo.
Carlo Herman.
You've got 4 or 5 names for him.
He's strong.
He finally hit one out at Yankee Stadium last night.
50 at bats. Took him.
Yeah, a lot for him. 2 gone now for Iglesias. Swing and a miss. So for Jacoby, the sac fly last night, which put the Tigers ahead in game 2, came on a breaking ball, correct?
I thought it was a hanger, yes.
Yeah. And
you're supposed to hit the hangers, those nasty chase pitches that you can't decipher. Nobody's going to hit those.
pulled to the shortstop Escobar. And Iglesias is out. Inning over. Tigers get another. Jacoby Jones red hot.
Doubleheader yesterday. You might be thinking guys are feeling a step slow, both physically and mentally. It definitely was a long day yesterday. Ron Gardenhire telling us this morning that he usually comes to the ballpark around 6:30. Today, took a couple of extra minutes to take some rest and came in around 8 o'clock. But his expectation for the team, put yesterday behind you, just go out and play the game hard. And that's exactly what they're doing with a lead here as we head to the 7th inning, Mario.
Yeah, Trevin, as he also said today, you would think with all the off days that the team wouldn't feel tired, but when you go through a long day of baseball, get to the ballpark early, and then by the time you get home, it's 11, 12 o'clock at night, it's kind of draining.
Well, and the other thing, a lot of players, you don't go to sleep when you get home. You're still kind of fired up.
Rolled back up the middle. Iglesias will throw out Moustakas.
But Gardy, with all that rest, he must be tired from all that rest. That extra time he slept in. Don't you get like that?
A little sluggish. If I take naps that are too long, yeah, I get a little tired.
What's a long nap?
Like anything over 20 minutes, not good.
Yeah, I'd say 5.
Well, yeah, but you also get up at 4:30 every morning, too.
No, you just 5-minute nap, you shut down the nervous system just for a second, right back on.
What's the point?
It's like a circuit breaker. You ever do that?
No.
Shut it off and get it right back on really quick.
What is the point of a 5-minute nap?
I just told you.
That's not even a nap. That's shutting your eyes and opening them again.
Well, I shut the system off. Totally
1 ball,
off.
1 strike for Duda.
Then you get up and get into the cold tub, 48-degree water for a minute, followed up with a warm shower, and you are reset.
Duda lines one on 1 hop, 2 hops to Machado on the grass. Long throw to get him.
Nicely played. I know you're laughing, but there's Major League Baseball players that do that little ice tub thing every day.
No, that I believe. The 5-minute naps, I don't believe.
So what do you want to do?
So let me get this straight. So let's say it's 11 a.m. in the morning, and Gibby says, I'm going to take a 5-minute nap. So he pulls out his iPhone, and he sets it for 11:05.
No, I don't set an alarm.
You set the alarm for 11:05.
I don't set any alarm.
You go to
ever.
sleep at 11. Drill to center field, hit well. Martin, long run, not going to get it, over his head, up against the wall, and that'll be a double for Soler. 2-out, 2-base hit.
Well, I think Martin thought he had this. This ball really carried off Soler's bat. He's got big power. He's strong. Just over his head. You get this big outfield like this, you can get different air currents. It looks like it's going to be it. Here comes Gardy.
So Stump came out because of the lefties, Moustakas and Duda, but the double by Soler will apparently chase him. Gardy says thank you very much, hand over the baseball, and we'll be back. Another pitching change at Comerica. Bank can be, come to Comerica, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com, see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson back here at Comerica Park, and the Tigers holding on to a lead here. And they gave you, what do you got on Mike Fiers today? Kept his team in the game.
What a good nap that was.
You took a 5-minute nap.
I took a 5-second nap. Fiers did a great job. You know, he's a master. He gave, what did he have, 10 hits? But he just knows how to navigate out of trouble, knows how to navigate through the batting order. And, you know, he gave you what he's got, and you go to the bullpen, and they've got to clean it up.
Ball hit to center field and run down there by Leonis Martin. So one pitch ending the inning. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
defense yesterday against Martin. You see he's getting close to that wall and he reaches out, and it's appreciated by his pitcher. And today Bernick looked like he had another one off the wall. He said that was a 92% chance to catch that, make that play. I don't agree, and those are big plays. They're keeping the Kansas City Royals within striking distance of the Tigers. The Tigers go to work here to try and pad the lead.
And we've got a wall side windows change. It is Justin Grimm coming on.
Well, Justin, 9 games. This is his 10th game. Again, this Royals bullpen is not boded well. Hopefully the Tigers continue to pound and put the runs on the board.
On Wednesday in Toronto, Grimm allowed 6 of 7 batters to reach base in the 8th. Ball too low to Dixon Machado as we get things rolling here in the 7th, bottom of the 7th. Machado, then Martina, then Candelario. Infield playing to pull on the left side. Dixon looks at a ball low, 3-0.
You ever notice how many times it goes 3-0 when somebody just gets into a game?
Quite a bit.
Well, you got to get comfortable on the mound, and the nerves get to you a little bit.
Dixon watching that one into the glove for strike 1. Singled in a run back in the 5th inning, a big 3-run 5th for the Tigers. And there's ball 4. Leadoff man on. What's going on tomorrow? The upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows is going to be Liriano and Eric Skoglund for the Royals.
Start at noon, and there you see the numbers. Liriano's been pretty darn good. 2-1 for the Tigers, 2.55 ERA. Opponents hitting below 200. 14 strikeouts and only 8 walks. Another veteran guy. That's a good sign for the Tigers. Trying to get some innings and some leadership.
Martin looks at ball 1, and the right-hander Grimm can't throw a strike.
Tigers just lead 7-4. You'd like to get a bigger lead so you can rest your bullpen pieces that have been overworked. That's the hope. Try and get your bullpen fresh and ready to go tomorrow as well. You're always thinking ahead.
2 balls, no strikes. 7-4. Tigers have the lead. They've got 12 hits today. The Royals have 11. Way high, 3-0, and the struggles continue for Grimm, and now another mound visit.
Is that 3?
It might be 4. It is 4. So they've got 2 left.
They're going to have to add a little feature on the scoreboard somewhere. You know how they got timeouts like in the football scoreboard?
They do. MVR. Mound visits remaining.
Where's that at?
See next to Justin Grimm's name?
I'm looking.
His pitch count?
See, I don't look at the scoreboard.
There it is. Look at your screen. MVR.
2 mound visits left. Wow.
Well, that would be MVL.
Remaining.
Here's the pitch, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Two on, nobody out. It's going to bring up Candelario, and now Grimm is creating a problem here. See if the Tigers can capitalize. Oh, now they're going to have another mound visit.
Let's get it on there so we can watch it change. It's like it's New Year's Eve.
Going to go down to 1.
So now let's just say they go to 0. What are they going to do?
You got none left?
Yeah, well, that's the old, we're not on the same page. You can come out and take him out though, right?
Exactly. You can come out and take him out, yes. That doesn't count as a mound visit.
But you
Or
can
if
say you're crossed up.
You can say you're crossed up, but I mean that's hard to sell if you're not actually crossed up. It's got to change sooner or later. There it goes.
That's exciting.
It adds an element of drama here at the ballpark. One mountain visit remains.
We haven't seen 0 yet this year.
Well, the Royals are 1 away. We're only in the 7th inning, so we might get there. Here's Candelario.
Be ready, right down the middle. Oh, that's a long hold. Oh, you got that call? Walk 2, that's a tough one.
Jamer, bases loaded, walk in the 5th.
Machado could get this bag.
It'll get away. Doesn't matter. Both will move up. That knocked a baseball out of the pouch of the home plate umpire, De Jesus.
Did he pick the right ball up?
I think he did. Yeah. Well, let's see.
So it hits the dirt and bounces up, hits the umpire's ball bag. And let's see what ball there's. Oh, the one you can see it came right out of here. So they did pick it up.
Infield in now, 2nd and 3rd, and Kennedy looks at a strike, 1-2.
Could you challenge that he picked up the right ball?
That's a really good question. I'm not sure that's on the sheet that they hand out every year on reviewable plays.
I have to remember that one.
Now the 1-2.
He's liking that breaking ball, isn't he?
He's thrown it quite a bit.
He hasn't got the fastball over yet. Hang it. Gamer can bang it.
Jamer is caught looking at strike 3 on the outer edge.
Did I take him today? -1. Yeah, he was looking for the hook right here. Got the express, yep.
Ram picked the stick. Here are the latest numbers. Castellanos has gotten me 9.
Oh, I got 1 today.
So you're in good shape.
Oh yeah, I got 17 on the year. You got almost that many today. You've got like 2 10+ performances this year.
Well, yeah, but that has kind of lifted me out of last place into at least respectability.
Left me there hanging. Okay, count me out. I know what you're thinking.
No, I'm not counting out.
Rod's over 50. I'm 30-some behind. I'm going to go with a different technique.
Ball outside of Miggy. What kind of technique are we talking about?
It's called the honesty technique.
Explain that.
Well, I'm just let the producers pick for me to see if they honestly pick the right one. It's legitimate.
You better make friends with the producers because they could set you up big time.
Well, we'll see how honest they are.
Be nice to them.
How much integrity they have.
Ground ball under the glove of the third baseman Moustakas in the left. They get to score 2 runs on this. Cabrera bangs in 2, and the Tigers add to their lead.
Miggy got a couple more RBI. Playing off the line, he pulls it down the line. Here comes Machado, here comes Leones. Tigers score a couple more, extend that lead.
A 9-4 ball game now for the Tigers.
Keep tagging on.
Here's Castellanos. Ball high, 1-0. So the 2 walks come around to score as Grin pays for those. The 1-0.
Biggie's got 3 RBI today. What Nick's got 3. That's what you like to see, the middle of your order getting that production. That's why they're there. Table setters on top.
A little production on the bottom too. Iglesias, couple of hits, and Machado a single, a walk, RBI.
3 runs from those two together. Martin has 2. Everybody scored but Candy and McCann.
Nick fouled it back. He had one there hanging on a tee.
Good recognition. Just drifted there a little bit at the end. You see a breaking pitch like that, you got to really let it come to you because it's not 95. That's probably 15-mile-an-hour slower. So you got to let it come a little farther before you attack.
Tigers now with 13 hits in this game. And here you go in the Tiger box. Nobody shut out today.
Not in the hit department.
Here we one with at least 1 hit for the Tigers in the starting 9. Fly ball toward the gap in left center field. That ball is hit well. And Castellanos has done it again.
That bounced over, didn't it?
Nope, 1 hopper over. It's going to be a double. It's going to score. It's going to keep the Tigers from scoring a run. Cost Nick an RBI, but it's a double for his 3rd hit of the day.
Yeah, we're going to watch his whole bat. At bat, all these breaking pitches, you could just see he's seeing it better, just staying back. Just he's not drifting. It's just there, 1, 2, all the hooks he's throwing, and then the last one, he waits. Look at the extension. It looks like he thinks he got it, but it hit on the track and bounced over.
We'll step aside. Grimm was not the answer. Back to the bullpen they go.
Getting great results. Seemed like people were catching the ball, wasn't getting any to dink in. And then that was all before today. Finally, they started to turn the other way. His philosophy is to stay level, stay off the roller coaster. We've heard that. And the results are starting to show much more favorable for the Tigers with Nick in that number 4 spot. What has he got? A little production today. He's got a home run, a couple doubles. So he's got a single, a home run, and a double. 3 RBI. It's key for the Tigers to get Nick in the middle of that order hot.
Birch Smith has come out of the bullpen now for the Royals, and now the Tigers have him at second and third, and Vimart rolls it foul 0-1.
Firm up to 96. 1-7 break on the curveball, slight fade on the change. Keeps his fastball mostly away from hitters. 2 strikes, he may come inside.
Two walks by Grimm, 2-run single by Cabrera, double by Castellanos of the ground rule variety. Infield in on the left side against Victor Martinez. High fly ball into shallow left field. John Jay measures it. Miggy tags. He's going to try and score. Here comes the throw to the plate, and he is safe. Cabrera slides in ahead of the tag, and the Tigers get another run.
Mickey kind of surprised me here. Tigers have a little lead, and he can get gimpy from time to time. He plays a lot. He had that little flexor. There you see it. It's not that far out, but Mickey goes back right away. He never hesitated. Maybe a little deke here. I'm just going to go back, and then he just takes off. Good action with the arms, to be honest with you, and a good slide right there on the plate late. Tigers pick up another. That's a nice sac RBI for Victor.
Now Jones. Big rip by Jacoby. 14 Tigers hits. They lead 10-4 in this contest.
When you're an outfielder, you don't get that guy there. You wear it. Kind of ran right in his face. Like I say, Victor will be shaking Miggy's hand. Turns the fly ball into a nice no plate appearance to or no at bat and an additional RBI.
Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss by Jones. 1-2 on Jacoby.
Tigers have sent 6 to the plate already in the 7th. They had 9 to the plate there in the 5th. It looks like 7 in the 3rd. Had some pressure on the Royals today.
Yeah, they really have. The Tigers again posting 10 runs in a ball game. This is the 3rd time the Tigers have scored 10 or more runs in a game this year. Now the 1-2.
Jacoby laying off there. Again, we talked about his progression on the off-speed pitches. He's finally starting to understand you get it behind you. Can't just swing, come out of your shoes on it. Got to stay on it, stay alive.
Fouled away.
And you do that to the fastball, get a piece. He's a very good fastball hitter, so you just use your natural ability to catch up to that.
Jones now with 8 hits on the homestand. He homered in his last at bat in the 6th inning. 2nd home run in as many days. Won the first game of the doubleheader yesterday with a homer. Ooh, froze him there, got him looking. Inning over. Tigers had a few more, lead 10-4. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
just filling my head with nonsense telling me I was the best ever since I was 2 years old, you know. But I don't know, I kind of grew up believing that. And regardless of whether it was true or not, I think is unimportant. But it was, the only thing that mattered was I believed it. You know,
the truth is as you perceive it.
The truth is as you perceive it. So ever since I was little, I grew up believing I was the best.
So how much better have you gotten, though, to understand? I noticed in Cleveland last week they really threw you away. And generally, earlier on, it seems like they try and pound you. So how about as far as that game? How are you coming in that aspect of it? You think the development?
Well, now I'm at the stage where it's like now I'm gonna have to learn to pick my battles. Just because now I'm not somebody that the team wants to consistently challenge. Sure, I'm gonna get an intentional walk here and there because the greatest hitter on the planet bats third. But you know, it's just allowing the pitcher and the game to come to me, learning to take my walks. You know, walk when they give it to me, and if they don't give me much to hit, just kind of take your base.
Well, Nick Castellanos has a lot of confidence and certainly has had today. 3 hits, single, double, homer.
And before that, he was 1 for 13. So we've talked to him and we've given a lot of his clips. Is just trying to be more even-keeled. Don't get too excited, and just believe in what you have to offer and your ability, and it'll all work out. And today it is. It'd be easy to convince yourself today, wouldn't it?
Yeah, on a day like today, no doubt. It's those days where you struggle, where you've got to work to convince yourself. Nick just one of several Tigers with a big day today. Here is Alcides Escobar. Little bouncer to the right side, and Cabrera has it there, and there are 2 quick outs.
No. Just watch Nick. See, he tells the crowd how many outs there are. It's one little thing we picked up. 2 down. Did you do that when you were in the field? Everyone?
No, only to my teammates. We didn't have crowds when I played Little League.
How about the parents?
The parents, I'm not sure they really cared how many outs there were.
Well, when you run off the field with 2 outs,
they would be embarrassed. There's a strike called on Butera. Singled in a run back in the 2nd. Soppold came out to get the final out of the 7th. He was starting down at AAA this year, and he's going to have himself, it appears, an easy 1-2-3 inning. Yes, sir. Down go the Royals in order, and we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Phoenix last night, Franchi Cordero hit a bomb. A lot of hard hit balls here, not like this. 489 feet. That's way up there. Now, not to take anything away from it, that is the second highest altitude park, I believe, so the ball does fly there, but that's a bomb.
Franchi put a hurting on that one.
We didn't have the launch angle on that, did we? That was way up there, though.
Here is McCann, bottom 3 for the Tigers in the bottom of the 8th. They lead 10-4 comfortably here this afternoon. Is that a subliminal showstopper in the background there? Here's the 1-0 pitch.
Tigers are trying to stop the show down the Royals today. 10-4 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. That's a big victory if we can close it down after that disappointing loss last night after a long day. Contributions from everybody. You want everybody to feel good when they go home tonight. And they have the opportunity to do that.
Warwick Soppold, good work. He faced 4 batters through 7 strikes and no balls. That'll slide low and away, and the count goes 3-1 now on McCann.
That's something that Gardy's talked about. You got Greeny, you got Joe Jimenez, you got Willie, and all the other guys. They have to step up, and they're getting the opportunity to do so. So when Soppold throws a game like that after coming up in the minor leagues, as James McCann takes his leadoff walk, it's important.
By the way, Tigers baseball is always live with MLB at Bat. The app will keep you connected every day with live radio calls, video highlights, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB at Bat now, your #1 Detroit Tigers app. I can see why the Royals bullpen has struggled so much. I mean, they're falling behind hitters. They've walked 3 now in the last 2 innings. And there is ball 1 to Iglesias.
That's frustrating. It's kind of hard to prepare if you're not going to let the ball go into play. You're always behind the hitters. You know, Ned Yost has won a world championship. It's a different area they're in right now, and it's the championships are a long way off. That's makes you appreciate it, to be honest with you.
Well, they had an opportunity to start their rebuild last year. They decided they would go for it. They still had a really good team as Iglesias strokes on up the middle for a base hit. It's his 3rd hit today. He's getting that average back up.
You're starting to see the ball. Hitting seems like it breeds hitting. One guy starts to get hit, and then the next guy does, and then it becomes very contagious. See, Iggy's feeling a little bit. Little breaking pitch down the way, stayed right on it, right up the middle. Lloyd McClendon and Phil Clark feeling good about themselves right now, and they work hard.
Ball 1 to Machado.
I would say being a hitting coach may be the toughest job on the staff. Pitching coach would be maybe second.
Well, you never have everybody going at the same time as a hitting coach.
Yeah, well, there's just so many physical hours too. You know, you got the mental part of it, and you're part psychologist, both pitching coach, hitting coach. But then the physical part of it is just unreal. If you went into a batting cage, figure they pick up what, at least 200 balls a day.
Oh, at least.
Just go pick up 200 balls a day. Make it part of your workout, folks. I have to get some balls for you, Mario, and you can try this out and get back with me on it, okay?
Well, I already know it's going to be a difficult task. Meanwhile, 3-1 on Machado. Tigers have 15 hits and at least 1 in every inning in this game. Now Smith with the 3-1. Walked him, and the bases are loaded. That is 4 walks in the last 2 innings by the Royals pen. That'll bring up Leonis Martin.
Look at the Royals. What they got for walks today? They have 7 free passes of the Tigers. Tigers have hit 2 home runs. 15 hits.
Ball 1 to Martin.
If you're Ned Yost, what do? Got to keep running them out there, I guess.
Tigers have 6 games with 1 run or fewer, 9 games with 6 runs or more. A little bit of both so far this year. Ground ball first base side. Duda goes to second. There's one. There's no relay. RBI for Leones Martin. Tigers add another.
Even though this is an out right here, again, the Tigers having better at bats, taking the pitches that are out of the zone, hitting everything solid. I mean, Martin, stand back, you don't see him lunging. Take the RBI, keep productive.
So McCann will let off with a walk, comes around to score. Now Candelario with runners at first and third. Candy, a bases loaded walk in the 5th. Forcing in a run.
Come on, Candy. Big fly.
Spins one up there for a strike. Smith, a Rule 5 selection by the Royals. Actually, the Mets selected him, got him in a trade with the Mets. He spent last year with Tampa. 3 minor league stops. Here he is in the big leagues. And he missed all of 15 and 16 with Tommy John surgery. So he's had a long road.
Take a look at the sac fly probability right there. Again, adjusted for arms. Iglesias is on third base as well.
Ground ball, base hit right field. Get another run in. Iglesias will score. Candelario with his second RBI.
Yep, how many times have the Tigers hit those balls right at somebody? Today they're finding the holes. More pressure on them, on the opponents. And Candy gets his 2 cents worth in for an RBI. Tigers another run.
It's a 12-4 ball game. The Tigers offense now has banged out 16 hits. And Cabrera looks at a bender in for a strike, 0-1. Big day for Miggy. He has walked twice. He has singled twice. He has knocked in 3. Fouled away, 0-2. Tigers, with a win here today, would crawl back to within 1 again of getting to 500. They would be 9-10. And a chance with a win tomorrow to get there, heading out to the road. Ooh, inside, had him stumbling out of the box.
Ball 2 seamed, came in on Miggy. No, he's feeling good. Comes up to the plate. 2 men on. 1 in scoring position. 3 RBI already for Miguel.
Ground ball to short. There's a 6, a 4, and a 3 double play. That'll end the inning. Tigers had 2 more. There's a youngster with a 5-minute giving nap here at the ballpark today.
Solid.
1-800-CALL SAM update. We knew it was going to be just a matter of time for Nicholas Castellanos. It appears that time has arrived today.
Nick's had a very good day today. As a matter of fact, playing in any other ballpark, he might have had 3 home runs instead of his first home run of the season. He had a ton of home runs last year, drove in 100 runs. I just like the confidence this young man has, and you just knew he was going to hit sooner or later.
Could Nick's big day be traced back to a lousy single early in this game? We'll hear his thoughts on that when we bring you on the post-game reaction from the Tigers clubhouse immediately following the game on Tigers Live. Mario, Gibby?
All right, guys, thank you. 3 more outs to get. Tigers up 12-4 as we go to the top of the 9th. And the Royals will have the top of the lineup. John Jay leads it off.
3 quick outs last inning.
Fly ball to left. Jacoby backing up on it. Warning track to make the catch. 1 gone. Miggy is out of the ballgame. Nico Goodrum has taken over at first.
Getting him off those feet any little bit helps physically and mentally. Always feels good when you get a little, like an inning break, a half inning, that'll do it.
Soppold, meanwhile, has done terrific work. He's faced 5 batters and dispatched them all rather quickly. Strike 1 to Whit Merrifield. It's going to be the finale tomorrow. Skoglund going against Liriano. Oh, 0-2.
Weather should be nice tomorrow as well. Supposed to have a good streak of it. No doubt that that has something to do with the way the Tigers are hitting. You deal with it if it's chilly, but it's way more fun to hit this way. Doesn't sting as much when you don't hit it solid. Get on the field. Same with the pitchers.
How much does the cold, aside from the physical effects that it has on you, deal with your, I guess, the concentration level on the field?
Yeah, sometimes you're trying to get warm, but I would say a lot of guys wear gloves or they wear additional clothing that they wouldn't normally wear. And you want to be as light as you can. You want to be comfortable in your uniform. You don't want to have 3 or 4 shirts on underneath it, wheeling your coat on and off. You want to feel light. Get that nice lather. You have some good undergarments there that absorb the sweat. It's kind of moist and wet. Keeps you cool when it gets hot. You got me?
I'm following you all the way.
He's just standing over here shaking his
I'll
head.
let you know when you lose me.
So, like the socks, you don't want to have those big wool socks on like you'd have in the chili. And the field feels better, and it's a better field to play on.
Well, pitchers probably don't want to pitch with sleeves, you know, either. They probably feel more comfortable without them.
Yeah, many of them, you know, there are different types of sleeves. Many of them pitch in the warm weather with the real light.
Right.
Jack Morris always liked to have that big gold necklace out. So baseball said that you couldn't have those on, so
yeah.
Jack went and got a bigger one.
That's shocking.
So when he had too many clothes on, that couldn't be out. Nah, this is a joke.
Need 1 more strike here. Moustakas down on the count, 0-2. Fouled away.
Look at Moose is trying to hit it through that hole, just get a knock.
Soppold retiring 6 in a row. Came on in the 7th, had a 1-2-3 8th, and now trying to get a 1-2-3 9th.
Well, wide open on the left side if he wants it.
1-2.
Right between the wickets for James McCann. He's probably looking towards a little rest tonight. Get to have a. One thing good about day games on Saturday, the night to day, like on a Saturday to Sunday, that's a quick turnaround. Usually pretty sore when you get up on those days. You won't have to feel that tomorrow. We'll have some additional recovery time.
To the right side, Goodrum has it, and the Tigers win this afternoon. 12-4, your final score. Now we send you to the Call Sam Studios, Mickey York, with Tigers Live postgame.
All right, Mario, thank you. Nice bounce-back win for the Tigers, led by their offense. We'll look at what got it all started today. It was just a matter of time for Nicholas Castellanos, so tell us about the hit that got him going. And holy Jacoby Jones will discuss how locked in he is right now. Plus, Ron Gardenhire's post-game comments next on Tigers Live.